So now we have made all the final settings in our drawing. We have arranged the different views in layouts, and we have also prepared the model space. Now it's the time to get final output. So we can get final output directly as a paper, or we can also plot our drawings in PDF format, or we can also plot it in XPS, JPEG, PNG or other formats. Now here we'll start plotting our drawing from the model space. So right now we have this drawing here in model space, and in order to plot it, you can simply use the command shortcut Control P. So when you press Control P, it will open this plot window. Now there are also alternate methods of accessing this, and you can do that by clicking on this plot icon on the quick access toolbar. Alternatively, you can also go to this application button, select the print option and then plot. So these are different options that you can use to plot your drawings. But before plotting these drawings, we'll create a page setup, and we'll use that page setup for plotting. So to create the page setup, go to this output tab and click on page setup manager. Now here we have this model space. So obviously we don't want this one. We want to create our own page setup. For that, I'll click on new and I'll give it a name. So let's name it as our setup. And let's click on OK. So here we have this our setup page setup. Now we have the first setting, which is printer or plotter. So right now none is selected, so you can select any of these printers. So you need to select a printer here in order to get the plot in your desired output. For example, if you want your drawing in PDF format, you can select this Microsoft Print to PDF or DWG to PDF. Or there are some other plotters like these 4 plotters which have some quality preset already defined. So you can select them also. But for this case, I'll select this DWG to PDF. Now we have the properties options for this plotter. So you can change the properties related to the selected plotter from this properties window. And I'm not going to change anything as of now, so I'll simply close it. And here we have these PDF options. So when you click on this PDF options, the PDF options for the selected plotter will be available, and this will only appear as long as you have selected a PDF compatible plotter. So in this case, we can set the vector quality or the raster image quality, the lines override type, and the font handling capabilities. Either you want to capture it or you want to convert it into text. So you can select from any of these options. So I'll select the fonts in the PDF file. So that's quite helpful if you are using some custom fonts and you want to include them directly in the PDF file. Also, you can include the layer information by checking this checkbox, and you can include hyperlinks as well as bookmarks. Now click on OK, and the next setting is paper size. So here let's select ISO A3. And now we have an important setting here, which is the plot area. So in this case, display is selected, and right now whatever is displayed in the drawing area will be plotted. Now in order to see the final output, simply click on preview button and you'll see the final output here. So this is the output which we'll get, and right now the drawing is not quite centered. It's somewhere in the downward side of this paper. So we'll make it centered. So I'll close it. And now to make it centered, I'll click on this checkbox. So that will center our drawing. Now click on preview, and we have it now centered on the paper. Now let's close it. We also have some other options here. For example, from this drop down, we can select extends. So that will fit our drawing in the display area, and then that will plot it. So once I've selected extends, I'll click on preview again, and there we have it. The drawing is fitted completely up to the margins, and it is now plotted. Let's close it, and now let's look at this window option. So when you select this window option, you will be provided with an option to select a window, and all the drawing components which are within that window will be plotted. So I'll make this window, and we have the drawing here in the printable area. Now when you look at the preview, you'll see that the drawing is completely fitting within the paper as indicated by these hatch marks. So that's an indicator that your drawing is fitted properly. But in order to fit it properly, certain scale of the drawing has been applied automatically. So when you go to this plot scale, you'll see that a scale of 1 by 1.6 has been applied automatically. That's because we have selected this fit to paper option. So let's uncheck it. Now when you uncheck it, you will be able to use this drop down. So using this drop down, you can change the scale. So right now we have 1 by 1.6 unit as the scale. So I'll simply change it to 1:2, and here's the final output. So that's what we are going to get. Now let's try and change it to 1:1. And that's simply indicating that it will overflow the paper and lots of the parts of this drawing will be clipped. So that's not the correct scale. I'll simply change it to 1:2. You can even try some smaller values, for example 1:4, and that looks quite small. So I'll keep it at 1:2. Okay, so that's the final scale, and this scale can be indicated in the title block also. Now we have the plot style tables, so you can use these colored plot style table, any of them, whichever you want, and we'll learn about plot style table in a moment. For now, I'll keep it at none, and here we have the quality preset. I'll keep it at normal. We want to plot object line weight, we want to plot transparency also, we want it in landscape view. Now click on OK. So here we have this our setup, which is now completely configured. So currently you can see that this our setup is not set as the current layout. So in order to make it your current setup, you can simply double click on this, and now our setup has been set as the current page setup. You can also do that by selecting this set current option. Now let's close it, and now let's go and plot the drawing. So I'll go to this plot option, and here you'll see this our setup. Now we don't need to make any of these settings, we have already done that. Now you can simply click on preview, and this will show this warning message. That's because the annotation scale or the scales of annotative objects like text, hatches, dimensions are different. So in this case, you can see here that the annotative scale is set to 1:1, but the actual drawing scale is set to 1:2. So these two values are different. That's why we are seeing this message, but we have not applied any annotative object in this case. So you can simply click on continue. And here we have the final output. So now our drawing is ready to plot. So I'll close it and I'll click on OK. Now once again, click on continue, specify the location. So I'll save it as drawing 1, click on save, and here we have it. The drawing has been plotted from the model view. We have the layer assignment here. All the layers are available. You can check their visibility by turning them on or off, and we are good to go. So let's close it. So in this way, we can plot our drawings from model view.